Welcome to the channel. This is my Wilbert Havencraft Ward deck profile. I'm going to make this really quick and just get into it. I'm running 3 Wingy Chirpies. It is a 1-cost 1/1 with Ward. It evolves for 2. On Evolve, it is a 2/2 with Ward, and it searches the deck for a follower with 2 attack or less. So there's a lot of followers that can actually be searched out of the deck with that ability. Then we run 3 Bell Ringers. 1 cost 0/2 with Ward. On last words, draw a card, evolve for 2. On Evolve, select an enemy follower, deal it 2 damage. Last words, draw a card. I'm going to run 3 Snake Priestess, Ward, 1/3 with 1 cost. Next up, 1 Demon Epitaph. It is a 2-cost 2/3. Evolves by discarding 1 card out of your hand. Then it becomes a 3/4 with Bane, and last words deal 2 damage to the enemy leader. This is really good when you're going first to evolve on your second turn, as it is a 3/4 that is very hard for your opponent to deal with on their second turn. Next, 3 Amethyst Lions. It is a 2-cost 2/1 with Storm, and on Fanfare, select an enemy follower with Storm or Ward on your board and it will gain 1 attack. Then 3 Boost Kicker, one of the best cards in Haven at the moment. It is a 2-cost 2/2, and on Fanfare, pay X, and then you will deal X damage to all enemy followers on your opponent's field. And then at the end of your turn, you can recover 1 play point. So this is really good. Going first at 4 mana, you can just pay all 4. He will come down and do 2 damage to the entire enemy's board. And then he scales up as the game goes on. Next, 3 Ruby Falcons. It is a 3-cost 3/3 with Ward, and it has the ability to pay 2, give this follower Storm. It also has, whenever another follower on your board with Storm or Ward attacks, deal 1 damage to the enemy lead. He evolves for 1, and he evolves into a 4/4. He still has the ability to pay 2 to give himself Storm, but on Evolve, select an enemy follower on the board and deal it 2 damage. And he still has the ability where another Storm or Ward follower on your board attacks, you deal 1 damage to the enemy lead. 3 Saintly Leader. It is a 3-cost 2/4 with Ward, and you can tap it and banish 3 Ward followers out of your cemetery to select an enemy follower on the board and banish it. Really good later in the game, as it is just doesn't care. It will remove it as long as it doesn't have aura. We run 1 Lyrial, 3-cost 2/5 with the quick effect tap it, deal the enemy leader 2 damage. And while she's on the board, you cannot take ability damage. We're only running 1 because we can search it out the deck with Wingy Chirpy in the matchups that it matters. I also hated seeing more than 1 of that in my hand whenever I missed opportunities to play it, because later in the game it just doesn't feel as good to play. 3 Diamond Masters. It is a 4-cost 2/5, and on Evolve, or pay 3 to evolve this follower. It also has Fanfare, choose one of the following, give it Storm or Ward, your choice. And whenever this card is on the board and your opponent goes to select a follower on the board, they must select this if they are able to. I run 2 of its Evolve. On Evolve, select a Storm or Ward follower with 3 cost or less from your cemetery and put it into play. And she has the same protection effects, and she becomes a 4/7. The main thing that you'll be searching out of the cemetery will be the Amethyst Lion, as it will come into play, making her a 5/7. And he has Storm, and they cannot Angelic Snipe him as long as Diamond Master is on the board. This originally was a 3/1, but it actually costed me the game in a Kuwan matchup, so I bumped this up and I took out a 1/1 line of Ringleader. She is just a 3-cost, 3/3, evolve for 1, and on evolve, she searches your deck for an arena follower, which that would be Wilbert in this deck. Next, 3 Wilberts. He is a 5-cost, 4/5 with Ward, and on Fanfare, look at the top 5 cards of your deck for a card with Ward, not named Wilbert, and put it onto the board. Also, whenever he's on the board, if a Ward follower is put into your cemetery from your board, he will deal 1 damage to the enemy lead. A 1-of target for him, I am running Shrine Knight Maiden. She was the replacement for the unevolved ring leader, or ring announcer. She's a 5-cost, 5/5 with Ward and Aura. Really good in the Kuwan matchup. They have to use their 6-cost board wipe to actually affect her. Next, Wilbert's best friend, Holy Lancer. She is a 5-cost, 3/4 with Ward. And on Fanfare, if there's another Ward follower on your board, select an enemy follower on your opponent's board and deal it 3 damage. And she evolves for 1. Run 2 over evolve. She is a 4/5, and on evolve, select an enemy follower on the board and deal it 4 damage. So off of Wilbert, you can bring her out. She does 3 damage to an enemy follower, and then evolve her to do 4 damage to a different enemy follower, or the same if it's still alive. Next, 1-of Dark Jane. She is a 6-cost, 5/5. On Fanfare, deal 2 damage to all followers on the board, and then give each of your followers 2 attack. And she evolves for 1. And on evolve, she becomes a 6/6. And on evolve, if your leader has at least 5 health, select an enemy follower on the board, deal it 4 damage, and 4 damage to both leads. She is good with Snake Priestess, because if Snake Priestess is on board, you just turn her into a 3/1. Running 1-of Aether of the White Wings. She is a 7-cost Ward, 3/5, and on Fanfare, search your deck for a Havencraft follower with a different name that costs less play points than your current maximum play points. So with this deck, the next highest cost card is Dark Jane, so she can find any Havencraft follower out of your deck. And since she is a Ward, you can play her to grab Wilbert, and then Wilbert to grab any other Ward out of your deck. And now you have 3 Ward followers, so if they do play a board wipe, they will take 3 damage off of Wilbert's passive. Next, we are running 3 Holy Counterattacks. This is a quick 1-cost. This card cannot be played during your turn. And select an engaged enemy follower and deal it 2 damage. If you have a Ward follower on your board, you deal 4 damage instead. Then we also run 2 Angelic Snipes, quick, select an enemy follower on the board, deal it 2 damage for 1 cost. These 1 costs are good because sometimes Boost Kicker isn't enough to completely clear board, but he does recover 1 play point. So then you can use one of those spells to finish off whatever's left. This one requires them to be engaged, though. Alright. Thank you for watching the video.